Welcome back everyone to Most Amazing Top 10. Today we're talking about ancient structures from around the world that are so impressive some people doubt humans could even make them. Could they have had help from outer space? I will let you be the judge of that. I'm just going to lay it all out for you now. My name is Danny Burke and this is the top 10 ancient alien theories. Starting off at number 10 we have the pyramids of Giza. When you see the size of the pyramids in Egypt and then you find out that they are over 4,500 years old, you can't help but be impressed. For some people though, they think it's so impressive it's actually unbelievable that they were built by the ancient Egyptians. They say there was no way they would have been able to move the 2-ton stones before the invention of the wheel. They also say that the pyramids line up perfectly with the stars and the sun. During the summer solstice, from the view of the Sphinx, the sun sets right between the Great Pyramid and its neighbour. Conspiracy theorists say that for the Egyptians to be able to do this, they must have known the date of the summer solstice and therefore the exact length of the year, a fact that was not discovered until many years later. Historians have an answer for everything, but there's always questions that some people who believe in it have that make them think it was the work of aliens. Moving on to number 9 now, we have the Moai. I'm sure you guys recognize these huge stone figures, their bodies covered in years of mounding dirt. They average 13 feet tall and weigh some 14 tons. They're found on Easter Island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Historians say they were built over 1,000 years ago by the Rapa Nui people who eventually went extinct, possibly due to an environmental disaster. Of course, some people say there is no way these people could have constructed them on such a remote island and that aliens must have been involved somehow. At number 8 now we have Sacsaywaman. This massive citadel was first built in Peru and became the capital of the Inca Empire. The place is famous for its dry stone walls made of massive stones, some weighing up to 360 tons. The stones themselves were taken from 22 miles away. Historians' theories have proposed that they were moved by hundreds of men using strong ropes. As with the massive stones used in Egypt's pyramids, alien theorists believe there was no way the Sacsaywaman stones could have been moved and placed without intervention from advanced beings. Coming at number 7 now we have the Nazca Lines. These are hundreds of lines in Peru's Nazca Desert that cover some 170 square miles in size. They depict sharks, lizards, orcas, spiders, monkeys and many other animals. They are said to have been created by the Nazca culture in the 5th and 6th centuries, but some people say that there is no way people back then could have had such precise measurements to create these huge animals that are only really visible in their entirety from high above. Conspiracy theorists believe that visitors from space came to Earth and left large tracks in the sand. The Nazca people then drew the animal figures in an attempt to call back the people that they saw as gods. Next up at number 6 now we have the face on Mars. We're going to leave Earth momentarily for this one and take a trip to our nearest planetary neighbour. In 1976 the Viking 1 orbiter took this famous picture of the surface of Mars. Among the rocks and sands appeared to be a face. Right there. Since day one, scientists have just dismissed the face as nothing more than a trick of the light, a shadow angle just right so we see something familiar. Conspiracy theorists say that, as you may have guessed by now, this was built by an advanced alien race who presumably have faces like ours or at least based the artwork on us. In 2001, a NASA surveyor took a very detailed picture of the same spot and saw nothing. So I'm not too sure about this one. Moving on to number 5 now, we have Waffle Rock. This is a big lump of sandstone near Jennings Randolph Lake in West Virginia. For hundreds of years this was referred to as Indian Rock by the descendants of European settlers. Neither they nor the Native Americans knew where it came from though. It stood out against everything around it. In modern times scientists have identified it was a natural hermatite grid pattern that occurs on sandstone under the right conditions. Some people believe this rock is not of earthly origin though and may have been brought here by aliens. Next up at number 4 now we have the Darrenqu underground city. In this giant underground city in Turkey there is enough room to house some 20,000 people with food and livestock. It was built by the Phrygians about 2,700 years ago. It's truly an impressive structure and engineers have praised how well ventilated it is considering it descends some 200 feet underground. For some conspiracy theorists though, this level of engineering goes well beyond that of this ancient people. Did they receive outside help? And by outside I mean outside of Earth? Some people certainly think so. Coming at number 3 now we have the Trilithon of Baalbek. Located in Lebanon, this ruin has 3 stones that are estimated to weigh over 750 tons. The temple was built by the Romans just over 2,000 years ago. However, there is evidence that the 3 huge stones may have been cut hundreds of years before that. In addition to them, there is also a 4th stone in the temple known as the Stone of the Pregnant Woman. It is the largest single stone ever cut by humans, weighing an estimated 1,200 tons, equivalent to about 3 Boeing 747s. Some people say there is no way the Romans or an even more ancient people could have done that, and you guessed it, it must have been aliens. Moving on to number 2 now, we have Teotihuacan. This is an ancient city located in the Valley of Mexico. It's thought to be one of the first cities in the Western Hemisphere and certainly the largest one before the early 15th century. They used complex mathematics and astronomical observations to construct huge pyramids such as the Pyramid of the Moon and the Pyramid of the Sun. Ancient alien theorist Erich von Daniken believed that the city was built by space aliens who lived there before humans even existed. He points to the pyramid's alignment with Orion's belt as evidence. He also talks about a mineral embedded in the buildings called mica. It's a silicate material only found 3,000 miles away in Brazil. It's known to be stable when exposed to electricity. Now Eric believes this all adds up to electricity using aliens in Mexico all those years ago. And finally, number 1 now, we have Stonehenge. It's perhaps one of the most famous structures in the world and has fascinated people everywhere. The stone circle in England was built over 4,000 years ago. It's thought the ancient Neolithic people used it as a religious site due to the many burial grounds nearby. The standing stones are around 13 feet high, 7 foot wide, and weigh around 25 tons. Alien theorists don't just think the stones were carried there by advanced alien technology. Some of them even go further and say that Stonehenge itself was a landing pad for an alien spaceship. Kind of makes the other one sound a little bit more reasonable, doesn't it? I don't know. What do you guys think? Alright then, there's the info. What do you make of it? Personally, I believe the historians. I think there's a lot of evidence that ancient cultures were more than capable of creating the great monuments that we've talked about today. It's us that needs to better understand just how they did it and not just say it was aliens. Anyone with me? Alright, time for some comments now if you care to stick around. Small Mochi Jimin says, I think a scary as room is a classroom or a hospital room. Those always creep me out. This was on our scary rooms that should have stayed secret video. Are empty classrooms or hospital rooms scarier? I'm gonna say hospital rooms. Hospitals can be pretty scary places normally, so when they're abandoned it's kind of even creepier. Classrooms, I think they're okay. I wouldn't say they're creepy, they're kind of odd though. I remember feeling really weird if I was ever in my classroom at school after dark for a school event. Didn't feel right. The Mun Gallant Bros says, you're the best bro, can I have a shout out please? Yes, of course you can. Here is your shout out happening right now. Which one of the Mun Gallant Bros am I speaking to? I don't know why I'm asking questions back to you guys now. This segment isn't really a conversation. Next up, Banana King Power says, wow, mysterious like my girlfriend. I love this one. This is how you know you're loved up with your partner. You just reference them completely out of the blue in relation to a random top 10 video. I guess that's sweet, romantic, certainly mysterious. Moving on now, we have an interesting comment from Marcel Catry. They had a lot to say about all the different stories we covered in that video. Joshua's room sounds like an abused child situation, and it's really sad to me. The room they were making newspapers in though is really cool, not scary at all once you know the context. The one with the workbench and gargoyle sounds cool too. The squatter ones though, those are really freaky to me. The one where they found the candy and dolls though, that might be a homeless kid going off of the fact that there were the dolls. Somehow I still want to have a house with as many secret rooms and passages as possible, just for the fun of it. Hopefully no one else will find it. Wow, all very interesting thoughts. I think I would also love a house with secret passages. It's just, you know, really cool. When I was really little, I used to build sofa forts and then make secret passages in them that my little brother didn't know how to get to. That was kind of mean of me. Now I'm apologizing. Joe, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. If we ever build another sofa fort one day, I promise I won't do that again. Next up, Ultra Boy says, can you do a top 10 Swedish urban legends video? I had to check when this comment was made because amazingly, we are actually doing this exact video. In fact, I've already filmed it and it may already be up depending on when you're watching this. I don't know. But yeah, Swedish Urban Legends is coming out soon if it's not already out. I'm also thinking of doing Norwegian and Danish, but then I thought of something that might be even cooler. How about scary Viking legends? Does that sound good? I mean, I love modern urban legends as much as the next person, but come on, Vikings, they're bad, right? They're already pretty scary just normally, so you're not going to believe how scary their scary stories are. Also, you get to learn a little bit of history too, which has never hurt anyone. Alright guys, this really is the end of the video. Thanks for watching. My name is Danny Burke, and I'll see you all in the next one.